Disclaimer as well, this is my own journey, okay? Hindi tayo pare-pareho. So journey ko to, baka lang sakaling makarelate kayo. At sana, kung may pinagdadaanan kayong ganyan, ipaunawa nyo sa family nyo. Let them know, sendan nyo sila ng mga informasyon na ito yung pinagdadaanan ko, sana unawain nyo. Hindi mo kailangan ipaliwanag sa buong tao, sa buong mundo. Ipaliwanag mo lang doon sa mga taong mahalaga sa'yo para magkaroon kayo ng matiwasay na pamumuhay. Mahirap kasi nag-a-assume tayo na maiintindihan nila tayo. Kasi ganoon din ako, nag-a-assume ako na dapat alam nila, dapat naiintindihan nila ako, dapat ganoon, diba? To face that na it's not always about us. Siyempre, meron din silang kanilang pinagdadaanan. Kanya-kanya kasi tayong topak, diba?
Menopause transition, so through perimenopause, and we also see the brain fog, the cognition changes, and what we're now calling the new onset of ADHD as well.
It affects every cell in your body.
Progesterone is plummeting after 40. They actually say now at 35, progesterone is starting to go down. So as progesterone goes down, we are less stress resilient. So little things are going to irritate us like they've never irritated us before. And you might be the recipient of that. So if you find we're very triggerable, it's because we're losing progesterone. So we just need to have more breaks. We need more nurturing. Like I explained in the menstrual cycle, we need to have more love brought our way because we just can't handle stress the same way. And then as
Ang sana lang, sana may nakapagsabi sa akin ng mga ganitong stage ng buhay na meron palang, na menopause is real. Akala ko kasi noon, ang menopause ano naman yan, pag hindi ka nare-regla, tapos na. Wala na, that's it. Yun lang ang alam ko about it. Until ako na yung may pinagdaanan. Ang pinakamatinding pinagdaanan ko sa menopause is yung mental health na nakakaloka. Hindi ako makapag-focus kasi nakukulitan ako kasi eh. Nai-distract ko sa kanya. Inis ako sa kanya. Tapos hindi ko mabasa yung kode ko. Sabi ko sa mga kumahal ko, sana huwag nilang pagdaanan yung pinagdaanan ko kasi medyo mahirap talaga. Lalo na kung hindi mo alam yung gagawin mo. Thankful lang talaga ako na talagang interesado akong alamin. Kaya na akong alamin at may oras akong alamin kasi nahawa ko na yung oras ko. Ano bang relevant ng menopause ko sa Okane? Malalaman nyo yan kung ano yung naging relevant. And if you think na nagme-menopause na kayo at you will have to go to see your GP, di ba? Kailangan nyo pumunta sa GP nyo. Obviously, ang GP, hindi sila lahat trained to gamutin kayo, gamutin tayo, o gamutin ang menopause. Hindi sila trained lahat. Hindi sila equip lahat ng knowledge about menopause. So, nung una, nainis ako sa kanila kasi sabi ko, bakit ganun? Kasi ang unang-unang binigyan nila sa akin na gamot ay anti-depression. Hindi ko inisip na ako ay actually iinom ng depression pill. Like sabi ko, ako kahit medyo tupakin ako, medyo toyoin ako, medyo lang, kahit anong inyo yung kasi. Hindi ko inakalang iinom ako ng depression pill. Nakatatlong doktor pa ako bago na-address ang menopause ko. Bago pa ako actually na-send na, tingnan lahat yung blood test ko, yung estrogen level ko and stuff. And basta yun. Huwag na kayo masusurprise pag pumunta kayo sa doktor na sinabi nyo, ito, Doc, parang may concern ako, naging moody ako, naging iyakin ako, nagiging anong connection ng Okane sa menopause ko. In fairness naman, dito sa Okane, may access ako sa good food like yung salmon, yung avocado, yung tofu, chicken, edamame, miso soup. So may choices ako. So malaking factor yon na makarecover ako sa aking pinagdadaanan. Yes, naging suicidal ako. That's why pinush ko na talaga nang magpatingin sa doktor. Sabi ko, hindi ako to. No way, hindi ako to. Kasi very positive ako eh. Positive ako kahit na marami na akong, alam mo yung, kahit may pinagdadaanan ako, lagi ko rin tinitingnan yung bright side. To be continued, magliligpit na kami kasi 8 o'clock na.
Also is actually a mood elevator, estrogen is. So when it starts to plummet, no wonder a lot of women feel depressed, right?
So another study that lightning bolt stopped me in my tracks was looking at the mapped locations of the G-coupled estrogen receptors in the body, and they're everywhere. They're in our brains, our bones, our endothelium. That's why our liver, that's why our cholesterol go. Whose cholesterol shot up in perimenopause and menopause with no changes in diet and exercise? Yeah, me. And, it's just about everywhere. It lubricates our joints. That's why we get frozen shoulder when the levels begin to decline. It's in the sinoatrial node. That's why the palpitations happen in 43% of us. So I just did, for perimenopause, I did a symptom, I had 800 people respond. And 86.5% of patients hot flashes. So that was number one for my subset. But then, still in the 80s, fatigue, joint pain, vaginal pain. Weight gain. Number two was weight redistribution.
Yeah, what do we do about that, man?
So when the estrogen levels go down, our inflammatory markers go up, our insulin resistance goes up, our cholesterol goes up, and we start, because we lose that protection of the anti-inflammatory benefits of estrogen, we start shunting new fat deposits where you never had them before, usually to the intra-abdominal cavity. So menopause hormone therapy does attenuate this. Nutrition is very important, the quality of your nutrition. Now, if you starve yourself, you will lose visceral fat, but that's not why we're here. We don't need smaller bodies. We need big, juicy muscles and bones.